Hello again my dudes, this is Kadima back with another build video for Elden Ring. This time we are using the Meteoric Giganormous sword. Now this sword is actually quite good, hits very hard. Being a colossal weapon makes it a little bit tricky to land some hits sometimes, but it is quite fun to use. Not gonna say it's overpowered, but it's a weapon that you can rely on for both PvE and PvP, and I just decided to make a I'm gonna hit as hard as I can build with it. So using the ancient meteoric or Greatsword, it has a requirement of 35 strength, 19 arcane. Not so hard to put those together, and then the weapon actually scales quite nicely. When two-handed with this build you will get 991 attacking rate. We also get to use Rakash's full armor set because the weapon itself doesn't really require anything special, so we get to use the complete set, which increases the damage done and the damage taken. To minimize this, I'm using the Urge 3 Favor +2, the Crimson Amber Medallion +3 to compensate for the damage that we'll be taking with this thing. Two-handed Sword Talisman, of course, for the increased damage, and the Shard of Alexander to greatly boost attack power skills. In this case, the skill that this has is the Charge Light, where you get to lunge forward and finish with an explosion of light. Because of how much we have in Arcane, the explosion does quite a significant amount of damage. It doesn't true combo, but it does roll catch quite efficiently. In the arena not so much, because people tend to roll around you and not so much roll away from you, and this roll catches only if they are rolling away from you. If they are rolling around you, the tracking of the sword is not great, so it's gonna end up going like sideways and missing the target pretty much every time. It's still a funny weapon to use, and I'm gonna show you how powerful it is against a couple of bosses and again in the arena. Just a quick show of the stats. I'm level 151, Vigor 55, Mind 18, Endurance at 35, Strength 56, Dexterity at 13, and Arcane at 35. Again, easy to use because it's just one weapon. It doesn't require you to swap anything or do anything. You want to have it two-handed at all times, really. The jumping attack is a funny one because that one just slashes sideways. It doesn't always hit, but it has a weird hitbox, especially when you do it very close to the ground. It tends to hit people anyway. And then you got the normal smash. The running R1 is the slash, the running R2 is the smash. If you crouch, you got the poking R1. If you crouch, you got the massive poking R2. The R2 itself, without crouching, it's still a poke. And the normal R1s are just sideways slashes, which are quite good, and it covers quite a big area. So if you're surrounded by enemies, a quick slash, and if you slightly rotate your controller as you do it, you end up covering an even wider area with each attack. But enough said, let me just show you how this thing performs against a couple of bosses and in the arena. Right, let's start with a boss fight. This case is the knight that you find in one of the castles. I don't want to spoil its location, but you get to see how me and the mimic destroy this guy. So, poor guy doesn't even understand how hard things are hitting him. Look at how much damage the mimic is doing. Then I come along with a jumping attack and this just absurd destruction. Did you see how much damage the explosion did? It's just amazing. And that's it. Poor guy just got destroyed by both of us. Next one, this dragon. I don't have that many bosses left, so I have to use what I've got. This dragon is not ideal because it moves around too much. But again, me and the mimic will show him how things are done. Every hit goes for about 1,300, even against this dragon. Just normal R1s, really, as you can see. The mimic is not being very successful of hitting it. And he's more worried about throwing fire pots, which, whatever, it's the I should not have equipped those. I should have not equipped those, but I wanted to troll with watching the Mimic throw them. But as you can see, quite a good amount of damage. It's decent. It's not amazing. It's not like broken. But if you want to play the game in a way that it's still fun, it doesn't make you stupidly overpowered, but at the same time is viable, this is a weapon that I would recommend for it. Just remember that you will be very exposed and you will take quite a lot of damage from everything because of the armor set we are using. You can always use a different talisman. You can always maybe consider swapping for the ones that increase defenses, such as physical defense or any specific defense that you might be facing. And that's really it. When fighting enemies, it's the easiest way to go. The Mimic nearly killed the guy before I had the chance to land the critical. But that's it, job done. Even the big dragon. Let's go for some PvP fights in the arena. Now this guy, he was actually a little bit laggy, but the fight was still quite good. I fought him many times before. He does make me work for my wins. It's not like I just go on top of the enemy and just start spamming. He does make me work. He makes me try to find the gaps. As you can see, I made like 2 very big mistakes right from the get-go. But then I tried to make up for it by chasing him around and getting some damage done, and then I managed to kill him with a roll catch. The combo itself is not a true combo, but it does work if they roll away from you, and which was the case here. He rolled away from me and I managed to win. I actually managed to fight him again straight after, which was cool. I always like to have the chance to have a rematch, either I win or lose, just because it's nice to both the players get the chance to try again. In this case, I tried to bait him into staying close to me instead of going all the time, but as you can see, I managed to roll catch him, and this time it did connect with the explosion, so it was a very good win. Now this guy, this is going to be a long fight because we are both using very high damaging weapons, and you can tell this guy just wants to do jumping attacks. I don't blame him. I would potentially go for such attacks if I had a build like that. He probably is also using the talisman that increases jumping attacks, which is fair. That's why he insists on those so much. But the thing is, if you do that in the arena, you become quite easy to read. Your opponent will just, okay, this guy just wants to jump attack me, and he will just try to bait you into jumping attacks, so then you get exposed. Unfortunately, due to the amazing connection issues that happen in From Software servers and the arena specifically, it's not always easy to land a riposte. Now, for example, here I can tell the roll catch should have connected because he was right in front of me, but for some reason the hit didn't register, which is a bit weird, but not surprising at the same time. This happens. It keeps happening all the time, no matter what build you're using or what weapon you're using. I was trying to bait him to the backstab, which I managed to get. And then again, boom, and the explosion nearly finished the job. He managed to roll away from it, but I thought, why not? And I'll try it again, another piercing thrust attack, and it worked. GG, my friend. To the next one. Now this was... again, quite a long fight, considering how long they tend to last with this build, simply because I was feeling way too much lag with this guy, despite it not really look like it, but the hits, like that hit should have connected, and this should have connected much earlier, so I don't know, it's just, sometimes it's just bad connection. For example, his backstab, I think that one should have connected, and I think that his weapon art right there should not have landed. The same thing for this one. I don't understand how that actually hit, but I managed to finish with the Ashes of War and pierce him from God knows where. Now to this one, this was actually a funny fight because I fought this guy before, and he just wanted to burn me alive, which is fine. He does manage to to get me with that Dragon Roar, which claimed half of my HP, which again, it's because of the armor set we are using. Every time we get hit, it hurts, and it did hurt quite a lot in that occasion. I managed to get the combo with the roll catching and the explosion of light. Good win. Now this is probably the quickest fight of them all. I noticed he had a sleeping crossbow, so I just stayed on top of him and I didn't want to let him recharge. Once he did, I just finished the job with the piercing attack and the light explosion, and this was the easiest win. Now for the next one, I actually fought this guy a couple of times as well. I noticed he was using backhands, but I thought, I don't know if he's got the swift slash, so I'm just gonna go for him, which I did. I managed to roll catch him, and then I managed to backstab him, and then I managed to catch him with a charged R2 during his Ashes of War attack. Now, I fought this guy quite a few times as well. Previously he was using a claymore, I think, and he did manage to backstab me. So I just tried to play differently. I was trying to bait him into trading, which was what the plan was here, because he managed to kill me before. In any case, guys, I hope you liked this build and give it a try. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Cheerio!